Alright, hello guys, it's Ashley, and today we're going to actually do a bit of a different style of video because we are going to be looking into the streamer world once again. And it's an idea that I was kind of sitting on for a while, and instead of doing like my usual analysis on certain things, I am going to present you some case studies on the world of some online criminals. Now, this video has 3 cases that we're going to dive into today, and some of the stuff we are going to see will genuinely baffle you. But before we get into the video, you might be wondering, well, why is this labeled as criminals? Because in essence, it is people who have basically committed a crime live on stream or recorded an illegal act, and they have received a punishment for it, but the activities, regardless, were still illegal when they performed it, especially looking into the cases themselves that we're going to see. Now, some of these do range from, running over stream snipers to, doing a simple act of shoplifting. So we got quite a spectrum that we're going to be taking a look at, and we got lots of illegal acts to witness. However, there's one key thing that I want to show you guys is that some of the ramifications for some of these things are genuinely minimal at best, even though not in every case, but it still happens to be minimal at best. And it seems that we are going to get some actual crimes being committed live. So although I suppose in the modern day, modern criminals do like to post themselves doing crimes and forgetting that it could lead to some consequences. But what do I know? Anyways, let's take a look into what I call the poster children of committing crimes live on streaming platforms. And, broadcasting and, of course, facing little to no consequences. So let's take a look at our first criminal, Clavicular, and he's a very special one. For those of us who, just like myself, who discovered who this man is, here we have Clavicular. He is a looks maxer influencer who has massive emphasis on the looks. Part of how it goes. You're getting rejected because you don't look the part and all that fun stuff. So, I mean, just look at his website. You pay $49 a month and you get to join a private community made for dedicated individuals seriously willing to do whatever it takes to ascend. No half measures, no BS. You also get 100 plus advanced courses covering looks maxing, nootropics, pharmacology, aesthetics, social dominance, and more. Exclusive guides dropped weekly to keep your trajectory sharp and unmatched, only for individuals ready to dismantle weakness and commit to ruthless self-optimization. If you're ready to dominate in silence and win in reality, you're in the right place. I mean, he's so dedicated to craft that he got his girl getting her fillers in, so you can tell he is dedicated to his craft with all the members. He must be onto something. So beforehand, I will gladly let you hear what he has to say about why streaming is the hardest profession, because, we got to know who we're dealing with, so let's see what he has to say about that.
Streaming is not hard work. It's literally harder than any construction job that's out there. All right? It's harder than being in war. It's harder than working construction. Hey, Andy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Dude, I genuinely would rather be a soldier at war than be a live streamer in terms of like the effort I'm putting in. I'm telling you. Now, it's more dangerous to obviously be on a war zone. I'm saying it's more dangerous. It's obviously more dangerous. But in terms of like actual effort and having to do things, streaming is way harder. I'm telling you. You're telling me that the US Army, they literally have all that shit sorted for you. They fucking give you drones, all this shit. But streaming, it's like you have to fucking take care of everything. You gotta operate your stream deck and fucking, all the tech. I'm telling you.
So now that we have some background on who this man is, what was the crime he broadcasted, you may be asking? Well, he kind of ran over somebody with his car, so, let's call a spade, because in essence, he was dealing with a stream sniper that was harassing him so quickly. This is one instance of that stream sniper bothering him and Neon.
Get this little guy out of here. Alright. Bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up, man. What's wrong with you, nigga? What's wrong with you?
So he runs to the same stream sniper again that decides to go on the hood of his Cybertruck and be a nuisance. So there's actually 3 options we can go with in this situation. So let's go for what he does. So you go, option 1, call the police. Obviously the most reasonable one, but option 2, drive away from your perpetrator, put your truck in reverse and, do that. Or option 3, run over your sniper with your 6,000-pound Cybertruck. Let's see what option he's going to pick.
Actually,
Dude, run this guy over here.
oh my
Start driving with this guy on the car. Drive.
Oh my fuck. Oh my god! You probably just ran him over, Clap. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Off the car. He was on the car.
Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Not only did he take the worst possible option, he didn't even pretend he was shook that he potentially almost basically murdered somebody live. He literally moved like Patrick Bateman, but the irony is that, at the end of American Psycho, Patrick Bateman thought his whole world was coming down because, he kind of was a killer. And essentially, yeah, he was crying and all that stuff, but, you'll be asking, did Clavicular even face any level of consequences? Well, at the time, he did get banned, but with some connections, he managed to get it severely reduced.
I'm live. Don't worry. Like, you need to just go on IG live. You need to be live, okay? You need to be recording something, okay? You need to be live for this.
I'm recording.
Okay.
I'll go live.
What are they saying they're going to detain you?
They haven't spoken to me yet, but I'm not going to say anything without
A lawyer. Correct. Just do not
You know
say.
anyone?
Yes, of course I do. Look, just hang tight, record, don't say anything. Don't answer questions. And just don't say anything, okay? I let it play out, but you need to be recording. Somebody needs to record you.
The whole thing's being recorded, but I need,
Don't worry about that. Yes, I know what you need, and trust me, yes, I got you. The good thing is, listen, it's Christmas, and a lot of my lawyers, they don't celebrate Christmas, so you're going to be good.
Of course not. Perfect.
Don't worry, I'm already on it, dude.
Well,
I got you. You're good.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As quickly as possible. So he got me in here right away. So now my ID isn't fully leaked. I'm in an apartment building, so I got a little bit more security. It's a little bit better, amenities and shit. So I'm actually gonna start being able to work out again now that I'm in an apartment. The gym is like right there. So W Aiden, everyone spam in the chat. W Aiden, all right? That's a real one right there. You know what I'm saying? He got the kick on ban reduced. He got, he was pressing Eddie. He was trying to get me on ban like the entire time. They were like 7-day ban. He was like, nah. He kept pushing for, harder and harder. Got me in the apartment. Real G. Was advising me with all the legal shit. W Aiden in the chat.
And just to add more, just according to TMZ, apparently there was no criminal element that took place, so legally he's in the clear with that. And of course, TMZ shared a clear statement, talk from the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office. The office told TMZ traffic crash was investigated and handled at the scene. Officers determined that there was no criminal element that took place. And, in the event that he may get charged, in a hypothetical, what would be the one he'd probably get charged with? According to Florida law that I could find, apparently aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Of course, a vehicle can be considered a deadly weapon in this case because he did use it to, inflict harm onto somebody. But essentially, as according to this, it says here, this offense occurs when a person commits an assault while brandishing or using a deadly weapon without intent to kill. It is classified as third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, 5 years of probation, and a $5,000 fine. Now, of course, if the stream sniper had, passed on, different case entirely, but we're just going to go off of what the footage that we have. So, you might be asking, why is this so bad? You may be asking. Well, as you know, Kick is already the Wild West when it comes to what people do on the platform. And what this essentially tells people is that if you know the right people, you can get away with running someone over live on the platform. And this is even worse. This is even the first time he suggested doing something like this. Actually, as a matter of fact, even before we get into, even after he did it, he was like, he was talking like, oh my God, I can't, he's like, kind of hope he can't come, like, I got him or whatever. Like,
Bro, your best course of action is just get in your whip and get the fuck out.
Yeah, I know the best course of action, but I want to kill each and every one of these guys.
In GTA.
No, I want to.
Well,
that kind of stuff. So it's not even, so he's done this, not done this, but like he's talked about stuff like this multiple times. It's not a new occurrence. So you're basically telling other criminals it's okay to pull these kind of stunts. But however, this is not even the worst, because while this is the Kick's poster child for committing stuff on the stream, we have someone for Twitch actually, and you'll be very familiar with her very soon. So Nina Lynn is interesting because the rap sheet is so long, I have no idea where to start. But let's get a feel for her personality first, because that is actually important, because it's always good to get to know who we're going to be looking into first. Gives us a better idea.
I'm very single, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
By choice. Yeah.
So
I just
why-
don't have time for bullshit.
So what bullshit are New York men bringing to you?
Too much fucking bullshit. Broke as hell, lying ass hoes, scamming ass bitches. They don't do shit and they don't do enough.
So how do you even date in a city like this?
You don't date.
What's enough for you to commit to a man?
If you leave me the fuck alone, listen to my orders. If I tell you to do this shit, clean the house, come home with a nice full meal already ready for me, we're not fucking, because that's just for breeding purposes. I'm not fucking you. You know what I mean? That's good enough for me. And also some guy just stay in his lane, never ask too many questions, don't bother me, that's it.
But you don't think that's playing more of the man's role instead of vice versa?
Hey, it's 2025.
So
There's a little bit of everything out here these days. You know
how
what I'm
many
saying?
men do you think are actually willing to be that for you?
Not a lot, which is why I'm single. Because I will not, for my own standards, I will not dip down.
So do you not want to have love one day?
Oh, I don't care about it. As long as I got money, I'm good.
Money.
Quite dazzling personality we are working with. But as I said prior, the rap sheet is a little bit long, so we are going to have to go through her most infamous crimes that were committed, but there are some crucial background information that we actually need to know. And something you should know about her, and by her own words, she apparently was so abusive to her younger brother that CPS was called. So let's take a listen, because I just can't tell. I can't just tell you about it, okay? You have to actually hear it for yourself.
It was deep.
I've never been in a relationship, but I have relationship problems with my little brother, like really bad ones. I was trying to be like an older sister, and like mind you, I never met him for like 6 years since we were born. So I was like 8, he was 6. That's when we first met. And I was like, I have a little brother, I didn't know that. So we met up, because I actually grew up in a foster house. And then I moved in with my real parents when I was 8. It was very violent, the foster house I was in. I loved them, I loved the people who took care of me, they took very good care of me. But they were also very traditional, as in very old school, where everything was very physical. Like, I've been beat, obviously. Because in the foster house, I had 2 little younger brothers that weren't biological to me, but they were autistic. I would take care of them, and because they were sped, I would take care of them more. So when I had a brother that had all the chromosomes, I was like, you should be like, okay, like you should not be acting sped. Like you can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be like.
Let's not use the word sped.
He wanted a sister, right? But I was like kind of rejecting him. I've always been beat growing up, so I was never taught the right way. It was always through action. So I was really aggressive with my younger brother, and he was like 6. So I beat him until he was like 15 or 13, all the way there. And like Child Protective Services came. We had to fly to China to evade the police and Child Protective Services because they were gonna put us in foster care. And we went to China for a month, came back. My dad almost got arrested because they thought it was my dad beating him, but it was actually me. And they all knew, but I wouldn't say anything. And I beat him more to not say anything to the police when they got interrogated. And then he got really. I think it wasn't the physical beating that was the worst part. It was the mental. Like it really hindered him. It disabled him from like being able to express himself. It took me like 6 years to say sorry to him. So I feel like that's why for me, I can't really be affectionate to a lot of people because I don't really know how to. So I only know how to be loud and aggressive, right?
So that is our background on Nina. And one of her biggest controversies was that there was actually 2 instances of SA, with the first one being against Disguised Toast, and he was a very big streamer. When he was getting a massage at a sponsored event, instead of a massage therapist, he got Nina doing it. And apparently Nina learned that in massage school, you want to focus on the glutes and only the glutes. Apparently you don't massage the back or the arms or anything like that. And, what has happened to my knowledge when I was looking into this, there was no further look into this case, and specifically there was no punishment. But the second instance had hit levels of virality that Twitch could not ignore. And it was then she had actually essayed Silky's assistant, Saeed. And this footage looks like you would find it on Lively before it got shut down. So let's take a peek.
Oh my God. Saeed, come here. I got you. Saeed, come here.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
He's 23. No, he's consensual.
No, he's not consenting.
Yes, he is.
He's not even saying nothing.
He likes it. Yeah, give.
Oh no. I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Hold on. Sit down.
Yo.
Sit down.
You remind me of that one.
Nah, they got it.
Take all of this off. Take it off. Hey, yo, cut the cameras. Yo, cut the cameras, bro. Zo, do your shit. Look at my Louis Vuitton scarf. Hold on, bitch. No outside clothes on the bed. Hold on. What's going on? You can't just forcibly take it out. Let me get that bag. This is a nice bag. Hold on, this is a nice bag.
Yo.
How much this cost?
Turn around.
Start off with the socks.
Yo.
Oh, I need this. I needed this. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Zoe, he's not consenting.
I do want to note that she did actually get banned for this, but as we know with Twitch, these don't last very long. So she kind of went on a tour making light of the incident.
Let me tie, right? Oh, what the fuck? Yo, why you always hitting me? Stop with those punches. Oh shit, I can't touch you no more because then I have to make a sign idea. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, that's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna come up 3 months later. I won't come. Oh, me punch you? You want me to punch you? Are you okay?
You send that in there or no?
Sure. So I'm not sexually assaulting you. No. I am not. You consent to this.
Yes.
You fully am okay with this.
Yes.
You will not use this clip against me later in 3 months later.
Never.
Or 9 months later.
No.
Or 6 months later.
No.
No? Hey, chat sees this, bro. Ready? All right. Ready? 1. You asked for this. Nod your head. 2 times. Did you get it? Okay.
And the poor man actually mentioned how uncomfortable this made him. And so it's actually very damaging because not only was he violated, but his violator basically got to pretend like it wasn't a big deal. And I actually have something from him where it says here, I've been vocal about the situation originally and nobody cared. It took me a lot to talk about it again. And for the 3rd time, it has hurt me once again, where it'll take me time to heal from it again. I've been invalidated by the other parties, which don't realize what it did. And so it's basically you just kind of scarred a man. Or you scarred a 2nd man, actually, because the first one was already pretty bad, but you scarred 2 men, and maybe that's why you're single. But, in the final piece of the puzzle, there's times where she's blatantly shoplifting on stream. Luckily, I don't even have to make a compilation for you guys, because she's done it so many times, it's genuinely baffling.
Look, I got me some Target too. Guess how much I paid? $3.99. How much is the cake? $39. $39? Okay. Fuck.
Continue scanning.
What the fuck? How do I get this? Just here. Pay now.
Remove all purchased items.
If it don't scan, it's free, right? Why is it not scanning?
They're coming. Hide the stuff.
Okay. We're gonna. Got it. Oh, damn it! Is it more? Yes, it's more. Shit. Can you just pretend you didn't see the light? It's not scanning this shit.
I'm with it. Come on, let's go. We out. We out.
This right here is crazy. No way, bro. This shit really about to be 30 bucks. This shit really about to be 30 bucks.
Mind you, she got banned again, but however, kind of like, how Palpatine kind of comes back, Nina finds a way to return, and even was teasing it way back when, and guess what? She came back dressed as the Grinch. Now, you're as slimy as an eel, Mr. Grinch, couldn't apply more. Now, where is she now, you may ask? Well, now she's living her best life, touring the world as if she's not a criminal. And what does this tell us? Twitch does not truly care if you're committing crimes on their platform, as long as you have some use or whatever their motivation for their moderation team is. And the irony is that another Twitch, like Lacari, also pulled a similar stunt, and he was meant to be banned for longer, but I believe he got his ban reduced because, well, naturally, he's connected to some very, 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 very influential people as well. But even then, that was a case where it's like, you could have just paid for it. But to make this even better, even though she got away, what would be her punishments? Well, for the shoplifting, because I believe it was in New York State, this would be known as petite larceny, and that is for items, that's basically stealing items under $1,000, and that's also classified as a misdemeanor. But it can result into up to 1 year in jail and up to 3 years probation, and a fine of $0 to $1,000, count surcharges and community service. So although she got away with it, she could have been hit with some pretty heavy stuff. And so now, since the streamer games are hosted in California, the punishment for SA would be under Penal Code 243.4, and that can lead up to 6 months in county jail and a $2,000 fine, or the judgment order up to a fine of $3,000. However, in the case of a federal one, it would be a $2,000 fine, and it may result to up to a year in jail. And sometimes California state law also allows for imprisonment up to 4 years in state prison and a $10,000 fine. So that's stuff that could happen. So there we are in terms of that. And with the stuff with Saeed, that's a whole different case entirely. So yeah, so we clearly have a criminal on our hands. Now, these are just two examples of like what goes on with these people and how brazen they kind of get. Because after all, they can still collab with other streamers, they can show up to stuff, and nobody cares about these sort of things. And I kind of wonder what kind of stuff we'll be seeing, because topping, injuring your stream sniper with your car, and topping people and touching people inappropriately seems to be a fine line to ban people. And the fact that these platforms don't take it very seriously is the most egregious part about it. However, there is one more case that literally just came out like a few days ago, like as I was making this video, that was so bad that I actually had to include it in this video because it wasn't originally in the script, but we have to talk about it because it is genuinely insane, and you'll see why in a second. Now, just to preface this, Lacari is someone I am not too familiar with this, so this case came up very late because it just kind of happened. And while we've seen some other heinous situations, this one is by far the worst in this video. And I just want to emphasize with this case that it is still ongoing, so I'm going to just be going mostly off of what we have right now. But either way, it's still disturbing. So what was so bad about this one, you may ask? Well, not sugarcoat it, but he pulled up a notepad and allegedly he had some links to some CSAM material, and he was streaming and he showed the notepad of the link, and some people had screen captured it, and then they found out where the link led to. But we don't want to watch this, so we don't want to see those links. But we'll watch it in real time to get a better idea, because it's not exactly looking good for him.
K feeds. Let me at least add way to the list of champions that I like. Fuck.
And so we understand how we got here, but we actually have two explanations from him and how we ended up with that folder. So everyone has the right to plead their case. So let's hear what he has to say about it, because context is something that is always needed in a case like this, especially with how heinous things can get.
How does it end up there? Okay, let me explain what happened. All right? I was surfing a site. Okay? The shit got downloaded. Like, I didn't trigger a fucking download. It just got downloaded. I opened up the fucking text document. I saw what was in it. I deleted the text document. I deleted it. But the problem with Windows 11 is that even if you delete the text document, it apparently still stays there. So it was still there after I deleted it. I've told you guys 1,000 times that's what happened. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I have like a fucking 3 terabytes of fucking hentai on my fucking hard drive, bro. Like a lot. Sometimes you go to a site, some shit downloads on your shit, you don't fucking want it, you fucking delete it, and that's just what happened, man. Okay? Like, that's what happened. I'm sorry, all right? Like, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but that's what happened. Dude, let's just move the fuck on, please. No one's gonna fucking believe me, man. There's no moving on? Okay.
So let us go look at his story. Let's get the story straight, okay? Because, so he was surfing the web and shit got downloaded. The question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of sites are you visiting in order for you to get that kind of material? Because you got to go to some dark places to get that kind of stuff. And with how much was there, and you literally can see how much, like, the amount of stuff that's in here, where it starts talking about like lolicon and, incest, and you opened it. That's the worst part. You didn't report it, you opened it. And by the way, opening these links is a crime. And so the fact that he tried to use that defense is utterly garbage, because that's not even the worst part. He even said Windows 11 has a bug where you delete the text document, it is still there. And so Windows 11 has a lot of issues. I mean, believe me, it has a lot of issues, but I am not familiar with the notepad issue. But if you guys want to let me know about it, let me know in the comments below, because I want to hear about it. So let me tell you that opening a sus link literally could have been avoided. Like, you didn't have to click on it. And especially if you're on sketchy websites, you literally, 1, need an ad blocker, and 2, you should be very, very careful of where you click on it. So that's like crazy. And to make this even worse, he even says like he has like 3 terabytes of hentai on his hard drive. So any investigator is really going to have, their work cut out for them, because keep in mind that under federal law, it literally says that federal law prohibits the production, distribution, reception, and possession of an image of, CSAM and using or affecting any means or facility of interstate or foreign commerce. And specifically, Section 2251 makes it illegal to persuade, induce, entice, or coerce a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for purposes of producing visual depictions of that conduct. So, what's the key thing I want to emphasize here? Even just having it, if they classify it as that, just even having it is a crime, a federal crime. And I believe that he's in Texas, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's actually read his response, because he actually responded to this. So he says, during my last stream, I opened Notepad, which revealed a link. The list in the link included titles that suggested child sex abuse material further down. I have never consumed this type of content, nor do I think it's acceptable. I decided to keep streaming in an effort to downplay the severity of the situation, which was deceptive. This was a mistake that I deeply regret and apologize for. The link gave access to abusive material for anyone to see. This is serious and harmful. I recognize that trivializing abusive material on stream is not okay and can lead to real harm. It's my responsibility to provide a safe space for my community and peers, in which I failed to do. I am taking real steps to change my ways. I've admitted myself into porn addiction recovery program that will last 30 days. During this time, I'll be able to work out there, and while also receiving professional therapy and treatment for my addiction. Browsing hentai porn websites as an escape has been a serious problem for as long as I can remember. This treatment will come with an indefinite hiatus to my live streams to allow myself to focus on recovery, so I can hopefully contribute and net positive to society. So, in case you're wondering about his situation and what happened to him, so his current girlfriend apparently said that he's been permanently banned on Kick and he's been banned for 7 days on Twitch.
I know Lacari is banned off of Twitch and Kick. I'm very aware of that. I know his Kick ban is permanent, and his Twitch ban is, I believe, temporary, 7 days.
But the thing with Twitch bans is that sometimes they can get extended, so we are going to probably wait and see with that one. But what his punishment could be. But we'll just say we don't know. So if in case that happens, I will make an update on that. But we will see. So, anyways, moving along. So say he were to get convicted, especially if he's in the state of Texas. Penal Code 43.26 says as follows: a felony of the third degree if the person possesses visual material that contains fewer than 100 depictions of a child as described by subsection A1. A felony of the second degree if the person possesses visual material that contains 100 or more visual depictions of a child as described by subsection A1 but fewer than 500. And a first degree is 500 or more. And so if he were to get slapped with the first degree, it would be, no more than 99 years or less than 25 years. That's if he gets prosecuted, by the way. So we don't even know. So him saying he has 3 terabytes of hentai on his hard drive, it could be as bad as the first degree felony in case someone wants to look into it. But I believe he also said he's deleted some of his stuff, so we don't know. But overall, I would say that it's up to the investigators to determine whether he violates these or not. So it does not look good for him. However, in this case, he is seeking the help he needs, with an emphasis on, he should never return to the internet, because now this is not only a stain on him for the rest of his life, but if by some chance he does come back, it'll just be back to back, like non-stop. And so that chapter of his life essentially is done. But at least at the moment, he can go seek help, and whatever the punishment comes his way, you just gotta accept it. And whether it's losing all your platforms or even a formal prosecution. So although I would say there's many different, issues with streaming as it is right now, I believe that outside of, say, radicalization or even streaming culture in general, I personally find that when I see particular acts, or especially illegal acts, being committed in front of people, that is the one that I believe hurts the platform the most, especially when those go unpunished. And there's also definitely blatant bias when it comes to these sort of things, because literally we've seen people many times. Even this video, we saw it twice, okay? Where there was acts being committed and basically nothing happened to them. They got a little bit of a slap on the wrist, except for the third case, but that one's also still ongoing, so we'll wait and see what happens. And even then, only in our case with Lacari, that is the one with the immediate action, because by far, even the allegation of him having it is so heinous that they can't even take a chance. So that is why it feels like moderation picks and chooses who gets to be kept on the platform and who doesn't. And they're never investigated properly. So I'm not arguing to say just deplatform people. It's like, do the proper due diligence and find out. Because for me, it's not only dangerous to the platform, it's dangerous in general just to have this stuff on there. Think about how many times on Twitter stuff gets on there and you have to instead has to get taken down because it happens all the time. Anyways, so I just think that in the future, if these platforms really, 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 really want to get more people and all that stuff, I would say that it has to take its moderation seriously, because we've seen many times on Kick and on Twitch that a lot of people will commit something and it's not taken very seriously. Like on Twitch, one person can get banned for I don't know, having a political take and indefinitely banned, but another person can be caught stealing and they get a slap on the wrist. It doesn't make sense. And so that is why, and in Kick, forget about Kick. Kick, you have to literally be the most degenerate of degenerates, because there's shootings that happen on Kick. There's what else happens on Kick? Oh my god. There was a case with Jean-Paul Manov where he was literally being abused and Kick allowed it. That's another one. And so what is it telling viewers? Yeah, if you just want to make some money, you want to get a quick following, just commit some crimes and you'll be fine. So anyways, that is why when it comes to these, it is up to us to report these and do what we can. But anyways, yes, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my socials in the description below. And just to close out, like I said, I really want to emphasize that the Lacari case literally came up very last minute, and I actually had to go find all this stuff very last minute. But the beautiful part about fresh cases is that they always they're always they're always easy to find clips because people are always sharing clips around. But give or take a couple more days, it's then they're all gone. So at least in that sense, yeah, at least I can find that. But that one's genuinely disturbing to me. But yeah, anyways, that's enough of me, you listening to me. So I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.